Okay, good morning. I want to, or afternoon, this is the beginning of week 2. I know that I have due dates set for tonight on the Mind Tap assignment, but I do have a couple of students that still have not done their meet the class in the discussion. So I need to get you to do that, to complete that. That's a requirement. And then I want to kind of give a layout again of how we proceed each week. We have, by midnight tonight, we will have completed the due date for all these week 1 assignments, which what I start out the week with here in Canvas is you'll see a page with instructions. It says like week 1 assignments. It says complete meet the class before the due date, June 9th. Watch the intro video, complete the Mind Tap Unit 1 reading and Mind Tap Unit 1 test, and Unit 1 programming exercise 1, Mind Tap assignment, and variables assignments. Now, the way these instruction sheets are set up is if these do not have a link within this page of instructions, then when you go back to the home page, you will see the links in week 1. So here's the Unit 1 Programming Exercise 1, and it tells you there this was the class video that introduces you to Lucidchart, and that's the program that you'll use. That's an open source program that you can use to pseudocode for number 6 in this exercise. So you'll go back to Mind Tap in the ebook and you'll look down at the table of contents. So first I have to always link to Mind Tap from inside the Canvas, because that will help you to always get to the right spot. So here we click into Mind Tap, and the way that week 1 was to go is you were to read the textbook, which was here, which was Unit 1, and I did have a Zoom meeting with one student. I helped them to become familiar here, but you also can do that through the Welcome to the Course, Getting Started with Mind Tap. Those will help you know your way around inside Mind Tap, so I'm not going to cover that again. The pre-course assessment, it says counts towards your grade. I usually do not count that towards your grade. I know there were a couple students that had a few problems with that, but it kind of gives you an idea of where you are on as far as your knowledge in this area. The read section, then there's always these two. There'll be some video clips here, and this talks about the flowcharts, which you do use at the end of chapter 1. This is where your Mind Tap assignment is, and this is the Unit 1 test. Now, the Unit 1 test, like I told you all earlier, it's totally up to you, but you can take it however many times. It's unlimited, and you can take it as many times as you want to up until the due date, which is tonight at midnight, to see if you get 100%. The other thing that I wanted to show you is in the chapter for Unit 1 programming exercises, and I think I've showed this in another video, but these, of course, you can always get to the chapter contents here. Those review questions are really good to go through, but I do not need those. Those are for your benefit to see if you understand the chapter. And the key terms are the same way. If you click on exercises, here's the review. And I can send you the answers to any of these that maybe you weren't clear on, because I don't mind doing that since this is not an assignment for you. Now, every chapter or unit, it says unit when you're clicking on it, but then once you get inside the book, it calls it a chapter. So these are the programming exercises. I did not require number 1, although it's good to do As many of these as you have time to do will cause you to understand programming better. But I can't grade all of those, so I usually only assign one or so, and then I do one on the video for you. But here I assign number 2, which you can get that word for word out of the reading of the chapter. And then I assign number 6. So this is where number 6 comes from. And here it tells you, which several of you have done it and did a really good job with it. You use Lucidchart and create the flow chart. And this says flowchart or write pseudocode. You can do either or. A lot of you did both, which is really good because then you see that you understand both of those two tools. Some of you did a different problem because this one only asks you to, oh no, I'm sorry. It does ask for the sum and the difference. So you input 2 values, the program outputs the sum of and the difference between the 2 values. So if you have any problems with that, be sure and let me know. I can do some of these other problems. I can also send you the answers to all of the programming exercises. So these are extra ones. This file is actually available up there where it says download student data files. If you want to work through these, it's very good exercises. All of these are. So you just, and if you do one of them and you don't understand the answer that you're coming up with, let me know and we will work through one of these in a Zoom meeting. All right, hopefully that helps you there with those of you that did not quite yet complete chapter 1, because we are now in week 2. And so in week 2, I'm going to go ahead and make available the unit 2. So let me get that out. And I will show this one. Oops, supposed to show it. See here if I can get it to do that. Come on. Well, it's giving me a hard time here. I will, oh, right up here, that's why. So now, chapter 2, you'll notice these are going to be available. Now, the study, what's in the study is always a PowerPoint slideshow and some flashcards. So that is for your own benefit anytime you want to go into there and work through that. Now, I always go in and get rid of most of these that are not Python. We take the ones that are not Python, and these are the ones that you will complete. And back, oops, let me go back up here. And I don't want to hide this one, or this one. Let me make sure that I have everything else unchecked. There and there. Okay, so batch actions are to hide selected so that that's not confusing to you because you don't do the C ones. So now you should be done with that. And now in unit 2, you should only see the Python ones, and I will go in and put a due date on those, but those won't be due next Monday night. You will actually, we will probably spend a couple weeks or a week and a half on chapter 2. So after we take test 1, these will be due, but this will help you with test 1 also. Being able to assign variables, also that learning in Python exercise tutorial that I gave you with an individual that teaches you how to download Python, use PyCharm. He also talks about variables and constants in there. And you will use the things that are your test 1. If you want to know what test 1 will be like, it will be like this understanding sequential statements in Python. So you will be given a problem, just like the programming exercises. It'll be similar to programming exercise 1. It probably will not be as difficult as this is, but it is one where you will be given a problem like number 6 or one of those in the programming exercises at the end of the chapter. At this first test, I do not require that you do the Python code. If you do, it gives you a bonus point for it, some bonus points for it. You will be required on test number 1 to do both pseudocode and flowchart. And so you need to be sure that you understand those from chapter 1. So that will, and if you cannot come in the Zoom meeting for test number 1 on Thursday night, I believe I put it at 5:30 p.m., then let me know, because I will need to, your test will not count, and you won't have it available to you until you can meet with me in a Zoom meeting. So as quickly as possible, you need to let me know if your work schedule conflicts with that time. So so you need to do that by email. Okay, and sometimes inside MindTap, students have a really difficult time getting 100% on these, because they count spaces and if your verbiage is not exactly correct. So what I tell students to do is, if you work on it a lot and you still can't get the 100%, then copy your code out into PyCharm or idle. You'll notice some examples show idle, which comes when you download Python, and run the program in there. And if you get the correct output, you can take a screenshot and put that in the assignment box. And then I will know that you actually do get 100%. Okay, hopefully, now this has just been, I only opened up page 1 of instructions. I didn't open up for week 2. So let's look at week 2, which starts today. And let me go back here. Also, what you'll notice is I've put in the PDF of the book that I talked about, Head First Programming. And this is the whole book free on PDF. And you will have some assignments out of there, but some students even learn Python better through that book. So it's up to you whether you want to go in there, but I do give you an assignment. I think it's in week 3. So for week 2, we go here, and these are your page of instructions. And in the video, this video here, I create the flowchart pseudocode using Lucidchart to solve the Unit 1 exercise 8A in MindTap. After watching the video, you should be able to complete the assignment, Unit 1 or Chapter 1, inside MindTap 8B. So you'll want to watch this and see how I solve pseudocode and flowchart, because that is what you will do in test 1. So then the rest of your instructions for this week are to do test 1 in Zoom. So that will be, oh, I have the wrong time on there. It should be 5:30. I apologize for that. If you have set it up for 7, let me know, and I'll try to accommodate you on that, since that was what I had in there. Instructions after test 1, but you can do this anytime this week. You can do it prior to test 1. The more you do, the better you'll understand it. So you'll read Unit 2 and take the Unit 2 test, just like you did in Unit 1, and like I just went over a minute ago. Your assignment is to complete the 2 MindTap programs assigned and linked below. Actually, that's also incorrect. That should be 4, because there's the assignment on variables, the assignment on constants, and then there's the ones that actually, these are the 2 assignments that are in MindTap, but if you have trouble, this is where I was telling you, here's the answers that should run for you. So if that doesn't make sense to you, please let me know. So this is the instruction sheet, and there will be one of these each week that tells you what should be completed, but some of the actual links for what you'll be doing are always, let me keep going back. Oh, that wasn't what I meant to do. Okay, so some of the actual links, here's the link to that assignment, and here's a link to the video that explains it. So I have a link inside here, but I also have the links outside the instructions page. And then there is test number 1, which you cannot see at the moment. It's only on my screen because it hasn't been activated yet. You will not see it until you come in a Zoom meeting, and then you will have access to the test. And then here's the link to MindTap Unit 2 test, and here's the link to those 4 assignments inside of MindTap. And I'm going to go in here and make sure it allows you to make sure that it's going to allow you to upload something if you need to, because sometimes I don't give that option. This is not, this is a MindTap. And okay, I know what students have had to do in the past on these is if you end up having to upload a screenshot, it will allow you to do that in the comments section of these. And if you have trouble with that, just let me know. So here we go. And let me make sure those others are in the right spot. Okay, there again, if you need a one-on-one Zoom meeting prior to the test, you're not understanding things, or you just have some questions, if you will email me, I will schedule that with you. Hopefully this video instruction has helped you. See you next week. Or actually, I will see you before that in the Zoom meeting for the test on Thursday at 5:30.